guys, so I'm gonna film a get ready with me in my car, which there's probably gonna be like a loud drone because my exhaust, and I would totally turn my car off and just roll my windows down, but there are wasps and bees everywhere and I'm not risking it. So we're getting ready in my car, even though I'm like in PJs, is we're going to see the new Avengers movie. So I don't even know why I'm putting on my makeup, but I just thought it would be kind of fun to film because like I always get ready in my car before work pretty much. So let's just go ahead and like get started. It's so funny because we're on this side of my back window. I actually have a decal with my YouTube logo, and it's so funny because I always watch everybody in my mirror and you can tell they're like typing it in on their phones. But the funniest part is it's like it's always guys, because I think they must assume because I have a guy name and like a guy car. A lot of guys like to watch other like car guys on YouTube, and I bet you if they search my profile and they're like, oh my freaking gosh, this poser, I'm like waiting for somebody to like comment on one of my videos, probably this one too, was like me doing my makeup in my car, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're such a disgrace to the car world. Okay, so if you guys use beauty sponges, I love the Real Technique ones. Oh my god, they have this little beauty sponge case. The only thing is you need to let this dry because I'm assuming it will mildew because it's never going to dry when it's closed up in this thing. But it's so great for traveling because it's so gross to have your beauty sponge touching stuff because sometimes your eyeshadow palettes and stuff break. So yeah, let's go ahead and just like start putting on makeup now because I'm wasting so much time. And I was just listening to Britney Spears earlier. Hold on. Oh, that was so refreshing. It's hot in here. I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. But anyways, I was listening to Britney Spears earlier, and ever since I was little, I was always obsessed with her. And like when you come from a family of Pentecostal pastors, like that's not always the best person to be obsessed with. Just because of like, she was pretty provocative, especially for like her young age. I didn't realize she was like 16 years old, but when you're 5, I mean, that seems like so old. But anyways, I've been her for Halloween since forever. When I was little, we'd like go to Target or somewhere, like the Halloween store, to look for our costumes, and I would always try to find like a microphone, and I'll have to find some pictures of when I was her when I was little. Every year I'd want to be her. Logan, what are you going to be this year? Oh, Britney. But I'd want to be like a different Britney, so like, you know, each of her music videos I'd want to be like a different one. So last year I was the Hit Me Baby One More Time Britney. This year, I don't know which Britney I'm going to be, but this is going to be a thing now. Like I'm going to keep doing this. But I remember when I was little, like MTV, like so now parents have to worry about what their kids watch on YouTube and what they see on the internet. Like in my day, which wasn't that long ago, you had to be careful what your kids saw on MTV. And this is the Glamouflage by Hard Candy. You guys already know I use this like 24/7. And I never used a beauty sponge really with this, but since I'm just going to movies, we make it kind of more natural looking, and my spray tan washed off. So yeah, I'm pale again, and this is too dark, but whatever. Anywho, but yeah, so I would get up because music videos would play at like, what was it, like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I would wake up that early before everybody else, and I would turn on MTV knowing I wasn't supposed to watch it, and I knew they were going to play Britney Spears music videos, and I would watch and I would learn the dances because I knew for sure I was going to grow up to be Britney Spears against my whole family's will. I would wake up really early and I would scoot. We had like, you know, those little coffee tables that people have in their living rooms. I would scoot mine over in front of the TV and I would get on top of it pretending it was a stage, and I would learn all of her dances to her music videos. And to this day, I still love dancing. So, anywho, like when I would cheerlead and stuff growing up, I loved like the dancing part, and that's what I would catch on to the quickest. But anywho, so one day my mom, I guess, I don't know if I had it turned up too loud or if she just woke up, but I had a t-shirt, and you know, like back in the day when you like take the bottom of it and loop it through your neck hole and make it like a short, like crop top type shirt. I did that, and I rolled my shorts up really, really like short, and I got up on the coffee table, and it had to have been, what music video would that have been? I don't know. Anyways, I was like dancing really provocative on our table. My mom came in there and snatched me off so fast. Oh, this is the funniest part, okay? So I had a Britney Spears wig because she was so popular. She would sell Britney Spears wigs in Claire's. You know, Claire's was like the store for the little girls, okay? And I had one of those wigs, and like my hair is naturally really curly, and so when I was like 5, I had like a curly afro. Like my sister had this long pretty brown straight hair, and here I was like this blonde curly afro, and I wanted long slinky blonde hair like Britney Spears. So I got the wig. That's why when people say like wig and it means like your wig flew, my wig did fly when my mama snatched me off that coffee table. So anyways, that story just always cracks me up. Imagine this 5-year-old just like dancing on the coffee table to Britney Spears with her Britney Spears wig on, and that thing goes flying when her mama snatched her off the table. Like, it's so funny to me. I have to tell you guys a story about my grandma. I'm fixing to get into a story about older people because they are the funniest, and I work with older women. I'm the youngest at my job, and I just love it. Like, people are always like, do you ever feel like different because, or how do you like working with women that are older than you, and blah, blah, blah. Like, they're freaking hilarious. I would not want to work with any other women. Like, they were so freaking funny. So anyways, this story though is about my grandma, and like while we're in like the setting of a car, I figured this would be perfect to tell because now I can demonstrate it. Because anytime I try to tell this story, by the way, I'm using the Anastasia cream contour. This is in the Fair palette. But anyways, I don't know why I'm like caking my face up. This particular story, I was going out of town with my grandparents, and my grandpa's like side of the family, like Idaho, right? I'm so terrible, good gosh. Anyways, they were in town. It was him and his wife and their little girl, and we were gonna go show them another historic town that's not too far from us. That was where my grandma's side of the family grew up anyway. I don't know why I'm telling you guys towns, like you guys know what Charleston is. Anywho, it was Charleston. I don't know why I'm being so secretive about that. My grandma put one of those cinnamon candies, like I don't know what it is with like the older generation and these freaking mints and cinnamon candies and constantly having to have something in your mouth. But she learned on this day because, oh my god, this is tragic, but it's so freaking funny. Got one of those like cinnamon hard candies, and all right, so we're in a truck. So there's actually, you can pull down or pull up the middle console and it makes like a 3rd seat, and then there's 3 seats in the back. What kind of truck does my grandpa have? A Sierra? It's me in the middle, my grandpa's driving, then my grandma in this seat. So just imagine like how dramatic this is, because I'm about to make it really dramatic, because this is how I saw it in my mind. I was like 12 or 13. It was actually the year that Michael Jackson died, so how old was I? Grandma decides to like eat this candy, and she starts choking on it because she accidentally swallowed it when it wasn't time. And so yeah, so imagine my grandma in the car, okay, and she swallows this whole candy. Now I think like she could have swallowed it and been fine, but like, you know, when you swallow something when you're not ready, you panic. And she just like immediately, by the way, there's like a baby in the back seat and her parents, and then us 3 in the front. My grandma, literally, this is her, she's gonna kill me for telling this story too, but it's funny. So because now we can look back on it and laugh. She's not gonna think it's funny because she like almost died, but anywho, she didn't, so we're cool now. She like realized she's like choking, and like we're all talking and like laughing and cutting up, so we're like not paying her any attention. Well, all of a sudden she's like, and we're like she would sometimes get coughing fits, so I'm just thinking that this is what that is. Literally, it's like, and like her eyes like bulging out of her head, and she's like, it's just like hitting all of us in the front seat. Like her arms are flailing everywhere. I got smacked in the head, and I'm like, I think she's choking. And my grandpa's like, what, Joe? And he like starts beating her on the back, and like here I am like getting like karate chopped in the freaking throat because he doesn't reach behind me, he reaches in front of me, and he's like hitting her, and I'm like, oh my god, now I'm getting karate chopped in the throat. He doesn't even pull over. He's like just multitasking, like, here, let me drive and still save your life, all right? Because he was like in Vietnam, so to him this ain't no big deal, choking on a piece of candy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what do we do? I don't know the Heimlich, and he's beating her already, and me at the same time. So anyways, she literally just starts like clawing at the window, and she's like, I'm like full on Walking Dead zombie mode. I'm like, I don't even know if I should panic or not. I'm gonna use this Milani Luminoso, like that I've used in 1,000 other videos. Anyways, finally, my grandpa gave her like one big smack, okay? That candy shot out, hit the windshield. How it didn't crack it, I don't know, because the force that came with it was astonishing. Like, blew my mind. When that thing like flew out of her mouth, hit the windshield, and then landed on the dash, I was like, and she's like, Earl! Like, because that's my grandpa's name, and she just like yells it. And he's like, all right, we're good. Like, that was so traumatizing. I was telling my friend this story, okay? And she was like, honestly, I'm so petty. I would have kept that cinnamon candy on the dash for the rest of my life. I would keep it there and tell him he cannot get rid of it. And so anytime that he got in his truck, he would see it and remember the time he didn't pull over to save my life. Yeah, I thought that story was freaking hilarious. And I'm really wrong for laughing and thinking it's funny, but it just was. Like, it just was funny. Speaking of like older women and how funny they are, I was in the doctor's office. This was about a month ago. As y'all know, I get bursitis in my shoulder, and I started getting it in the other one because of just my work. I was in the doctor's office getting my shoulder looked at while I was in the waiting room, and there was these two older women. And when I say, like, honestly, I did try to video this, but I didn't do a very good job because I was scared nobody was going to believe me when I told this story. By the way, I'm using my usual eyebrow pencil, which is the NYX one. I'm terrible at talking and doing my makeup. Note to self for future videos, you are not good at the chit chat ones, but anywho. I'm sitting on one end of the doctor's office and they're sitting on the other. And obviously I don't know who they are, I don't know their names, but they keep talking about this woman named Janice. I'm like, poor freaking Janice. Y'all are just like freaking antagonizing her, and she's not even here to defend herself. And the whole doctor's office can hear, because although they're sitting directly beside each other, they obviously cannot hear, and they're talking so loud as I am listening to them, because it's hard not to. And they're talking about Janice and how she moved and won't give them her address, and how they think that is so rude. Which I can see why she didn't want to give them their address, because at this point neither of them had their teeth in, like, at all. Yeah, freaking Janice won't give us her address. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why though. Like, I don't blame Janice. I'm just gonna do the bare minimum, you guys. I'm just gonna do what I always do, which is my face and eyebrows and mascara. Today we're gonna throw in a little bit of eyeliner just to spice things up. Now my husband's cutting the grass. One of them pulls out another cinnamon candy, and here I am having like flashbacks of my grandma choking on one. Like, what is the obsession with these? Anyway, she pulls one out, no teeth, you guys. And like, I understand like she wants to suck on it or whatever. She full force bites it with her gums. I have never heard sounds like that in my life. I'm gonna name them, okay, so that we don't get confused with this story. So their names are Ethel and Eunice, okay, because they look like an Ethel and a Eunice. Ethel is the one that's gonna be, we'll make her the one that's chewing on the cinnamon candy with no teeth in. So Ethel's chewing on her candy, talking about Janice and how freaking rude she is. Well then, as she's chewing on this candy and they're talking about this poor woman, Eunice actually pulls out her dentures out of her bag. I'm like, well, thank God. Okay, she's gonna put her teeth in. She pulls out her Polygrip, which, by the way, you guys, I don't even have anything that's as thin as that. This is how thin she had that Polygrip, okay? From where she had squeezed it to death, because she wanted to make sure she used every last drop. Like, her little arms were just squeezing as hard as they could to get the Polygrip on her dentures. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know where that last little drop is gonna end up? On my head, because she's squeezing it in my direction, and with the force that's having to push out, like, I know it's coming for me. I guess she finally got some to come out. Her teeth glued, I guess, to her satisfaction. And then just popped some in her mouth, and they were flopping around. Why am I never vlogging in these moments? Like, I'm vlogging, but I never get stuff like this on camera. And then I have to whip out my camera, and then you can't even be videoing people without their consent anyways. I went to work. I was telling the ladies about it. A coworker was like, well, we were out eating the other day, and this older gentleman took his teeth out when he got done eating and swished them around in his tea and then put them back in his mouth. I'm like, ew. Ew, I don't know if I like this lip color. This is the NYX. I put this on in the video. The London one. Honestly though, I have thought about making a funny stories video. Like, there's been a lot of crazy incidents. Like, some of them that I probably wouldn't talk about on camera, like the time like I almost had to pull my gun on somebody. Like, that's actually really scary, and it hasn't gone through court yet, so yeah, I can't talk about that anyways. But just know these things happen in my life, and although you get some entertainment in my vlogs, like, you guys really miss the good stuff, and I need to do better about that. Okay, I think on top of this I'm gonna put, this is honey, this is N, this is Milani. What is Iman? I-M-A-N. These are really good lip glosses. And they have this vanilla coconut smell that I really love. I need to blend this blush out. I'm not a big blush person. Like, I don't like it to look like this. Blend out. We're gonna leave in exactly 15 minutes. So I did that right on time. Thank you guys so much for watching me get ready and talking to me. Or listening to me and me talking to you. My husband's cutting grass and it's really funny. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Got to let it go.